Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we finally get a chance to take a look at the newest Nanmu release, and it is, as you can see in front of you, the Sinoceratops. It's one that myself and many others have been waiting for quite a while because it's the first time that we get a true, legitimate Sinoceratops as far as the Jurassic World figure goes, and I couldn't be more excited to take a look at it with you guys. We did, of course, get a Sinoceratops in quotation marks from Mattel for the Jurassic World line, but unfortunately it was actually just a Pachyrhinosaurus in packaging that claimed it was a Sinoceratops, although with the newest 2020 releases coming up, there was a silhouette that mysteriously looks a lot like a Sinoceratops, so I'm sure we'll be getting one from Mattel in the very near future, but as I said, this is the Nanmu version. These are the two boxes that you can see right here. They have different artwork with the Sinoceratops facing opposite directions. There's not much else going on. You can see on the side it says Tower Shield. On the back we've got the Nanmu logo. Nothing really too crazy on there. Pretty much all the same usual stuff as far as Nanmu goes, but the boxes do look really quite nice, as does the images that are on the front right there. So let's go ahead, open them up, and take a look at what's inside. So the very first thing that we get a chance to look at is the card. This is something new that Nanmu just started to do with the Carnotaurus, and again we get it here for the Sinoceratops. You can see some very cool, really nice artwork for the figure itself, and it really is beautiful. And then if we turn it around, we've got some more artwork of both versions, the brown and green, which is also awesome. I'm going to just go ahead and assume that it's pretty much like a male and female of the species, and you can see based on the color scheme who is who. I would imagine the brown one would probably be the female, the green brighter one would be the male. Really nice. I love that they include these, an absolute awesome addition to these figures. Then we also have this, which is our newest human character, as they always seem to include a human character with each figure, each release, and it's a little tough to really see, but you can see that it is Dennis Nedry, and he looks really awesome, but the light is oddly bright right now on him, I guess because he's a really bright white himself, so we'll take a closer look at him here in a little bit. But then we have our Sinoceratops figures. There is the brown one, and here is the green. So both of them are right here for us to see. Both look really cool. At first glance, I could say that the sculpts are awesome. They truly look just like the dinosaur that you saw in Fallen Kingdom. I think they nailed the sculpts, but did they nail the paint jobs? I guess we'll have to wait and see when we get a closer look right now. So we will take a look at the green one first as far as the detail and everything goes, just because that's the paint scheme that matches the film a little bit more. So if we look at the head sculpt, as far as the sculpt goes, you can see it is really nice. The nostrils are beautifully sculpted out there, as is pretty much all of the skin texture throughout the head. It's incredible just how much work has gone into this. I love the detail all around the eye, not to mention the incredibly nice eye paint itself. Look at the detail that is in the horn here. The horn on the snout just looks absolutely beautiful, as does the paint application, and you can see it shining as I'm turning it, as all the horns here are given a really nice gloss to help them shine really nicely. And you can see that all over as far as the horns go. There are quite a bit of different variations of green that you can see. It primarily has this greenish coloration that you see right here. That's the main body color, but you can also see like a lighter green as it transitions to this brown down here. And you can also see a darker green the closer you get to the horn as well. So there is a lot of variations of green included. If we look up here at the frill, you can see those trademark holes that you saw on the Sinoceratops in the film in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and there's also quite a bit of beautiful coloration up here, but also incredible sculpt. And I love that they've dry brushed this dark green over top of all the detail all over the head in certain areas. That really helps to bring out the incredible sculpt and show you just how beautiful the scaling is that they've included all over the head area. It's quite staggeringly beautiful, honestly. I think they have done an incredible job as far as the paint application of the head goes. You can see like some lighter, almost like a creamy type color, which isn't really applied perfectly. You can see that looks a little bit sloppy, but I wouldn't say that that's anything to complain about. If you look right there, you can definitely see that it's more like paint as opposed to body color, but that's such a small area, and I think that from a step back you really don't notice it too well. Even the horns up here on the top of the head look incredibly nice. The eyes look beautiful also. Look how incredibly nice that's painted. A nice whitish background with a black ring around a brown eye with a black pupil, and it's glossed to perfection. Both eyes are like that. There is no sloppiness in either. They really look great on this figure. And you can see that this area kind of has like a ring with that light brown, that orangish brown that you do see on the dinosaur in the film. I think they did a great job matching the colors of the dinosaur. Not perfectly, but very close. I just feel like the lighter, like orangey brown, the raw sienna type color was a little bit brighter on the dinosaur in the film, but it still looks really nice on this. And again, as I said, the sculpt of this, as far as looking like the film version of the dinosaur, is just off the charts awesome. You can see that the mouth is painted really nicely as well, and also has a very nice, very realistic gloss. You can kind of see the seam right here where the mouth connects, but I don't think that's a big deal. But one thing that is really cool is that you can actually see the mouth is open just a little bit there, so you can kind of see through the mouth. There we go. You can see through the mouth, straight through. That's awesome. I think that is a really cool touch, because more often than not, if you get a dinosaur figure where the mouth is kind of closed, it's all the way closed, but that's not here. What you see with the Nanmu version, it is open just a little bit, and I think it helps to give it a little extra bit of realism, but also look really cool. And the paint application is great as well. I love that all the horns and the mouth and everything start off with this nice light coloration and then transition to a darker coloration the closer you get to the body, helping to give it a really beautiful appearance. As you can see, the head is articulated and it moves pretty good, but it's not anything amazing. You can see that it can't go super high. I feel like if I forced it up too far, it would probably snap off. So if you do get this, be careful not to break the head off, because I feel like if you force it up too high, it's probably going to snap off. The detail in the neck also looks really nice. Lots of skin wrinkling going on. Beautiful detail here again with the nice dry brushing they've done with the darker green. Brings that detail out perfectly everywhere, especially down here. You can even pick up on some osteoderms and everything in the front leg. Really looks great. Lots of beautiful movement being shown here with the creases and the skin folding and everything going on in the leg, as this leg is taking a big step forward. The nails down here on the feet look great, as do the feet themselves, and the nails are painted with like a blackish color and have been given like a dry brushing with maybe a little bit of a light gray. And you can also see that they have a very realistic shine, again what you would see on a real living animal's nails. As you come back up, you can see how bulky the leg is as well. It's definitely a very large, very thick leg, and that's exactly what you see on the film version of the dinosaur. It's a very thick dinosaur in the movie. If you come back here into the stomach region, you can see just how incredibly nice all the detail is back here as well, especially as you get down into the lower part of the stomach. You can see some osteoderms and stuff, and a little bit of saggy skin here in the stomach. You can also see the skin stretching here as the legs are pulling apart, really stretching the skin very nicely. You don't see the seam too well here where the leg connects, so that's a plus. Well, you can see it pretty good here. That's one thing I feel like Nanmu has had a little bit of an issue with, is connecting the body parts so the seams aren't really visible. And you do again see that here with the Sinoceratops. Seems like in some areas a little worse than others. Here's pretty bad. You can actually see the leg completely is disconnected a little bit there. Same with this one, although they've done a good job here kind of hiding it with that wrinkle of the skin, so that was a very good idea. Again, the coloration all looks great. It very beautifully and very naturally transitions within other coloration, lots of different greens and stuff, and then it transitions perfectly down into this white underbelly, which also looks incredible. Lots of very nice, very beautiful detailing on the underside, and it's been hit with a wash, a little bit of a dark green wash as well. That also helps to bring out the detail, and I think was a very good idea on their part. As you come back into the rear leg, you can definitely pick up on some really nice musculature. Again, they've hit it with that nice dry brushing with that dark green, almost like a black, beautifully bringing the detail out there all over the leg area. As we come back here into the tail, you can see lots of wrinkling of the skin going on right here. Really nice detail. You can pick up on that dark wash here again, and I love this striping they've done here at the end of the tail with that green, and you can again pick up on that light brown within. Very nice looking, lots of color variation. You can see many different wrinkles of the skin the whole way out. Lots of creases in the skin of the tail, and it looks great. If we look at the opposing side again, the head sculpt is fantastic, as is the paint application everywhere. Lots of really nice wrinkles here in the neck once again. You can see the very big, very large nature of the front leg there. Some osteoderms, lots of wrinkling of the skin again. You get a sense of the musculature right there as well. If you come down, you look at the foot here, really nicely painted nails. Again, incredible detail, even in the nails included. If we can get it to focus a little bit there. Really nice work. You can almost get a sense of the bone structure of the toes right there. Really awesome stuff. You can see the skin is really bunching up here in the stomach as both legs on this side are pushing into the stomach, and that is brilliantly shown throughout the sculpt of the dinosaur. You can pick up on the rib cage here a little bit as well. Even though the dinosaur is very, very thick, as I said, definitely very well fed. Really beautiful paint application also. Again, that dry brushing up here brings the detail out so nicely. As you come back here into the rear leg, you can again see the musculature really nice. And look at the beautiful transition between the colors there. It looks so incredibly natural the way they've applied this paint. And as we come down the leg, you can see lots of skin wrinkling going on right here in the knee area. Huge bulging calf muscles there. The foot on the rear leg also looks great. Really nice paint variation. You can see like lighter greens and darker greens throughout. Really, really nice looking. You can see quite a few wrinkles of the skin here, kind of stretching the skin from the tail as this leg is pulling forward. And then you run out the length of the tail, it looks very similar to the other side. A really nice, beautiful green striping, and everything honestly looks fantastic on this figure. If we look at the brown one also looks great, although I will say that I feel like the mouth area and the horns and everything looked a little better on the other one, on the greener one. I feel like the paint application of these just looks more like paint as opposed to body color on this figure, but it does still look really, really nice. It's just that the transitions between like the white and the darker coloration was a bit better, I think, on the greener one. However, that is not to say that this figure is bad at all, because it also looks incredible. We don't really need to look at the sculpt of this one because we did just see it on the green one, but as far as the paint application goes, it looks great. The eyes on this one are a greenish color as opposed to the brown that you saw on the other one, and the eyes are honestly unbelievable on these figures. Really incredible looking. You can also see that there's been like a white wash that's been given to the upper part of the head, or at least a light colored wash. That really helps the detail look beautiful, and they've also kind of dry brushed a darker coloration of like a black, I think, over top of certain areas again to show you just how really nice the sculpt of the scale work and the skin texture is on the frill and the head area. I also love this light coloration they've done, but this kind of like a pinkish color here, like a darker pink, that really, really looks awesome. You can see the ears are present here on the figure, on the animal, really nice looking as well. As you move back here into the body, you can again see a similar style of paint with that nice dry brushing that they've done over the majority of the body, and you can catch hints of that like pinkish color throughout, along with many different variations of brown again, just like you saw as far as the greens on the other one. The rear of the frill also looks fantastic as far as the sculpt and detail goes. As you come down, the nails I think are painted the same as you saw on the other one, so there's not really any difference as far as the nails go, but they all look great. There's no sloppiness or anything. Again, the paint transitioning down the body, color transitioning down looks fantastic. Very, very realistic. You've also got some striping going on here in the leg, and again you can pick up on quite a few variations of brown and sort of see that pinkish coloration here and there again. You've got brown stripes down the tail similar to what you saw on the other one with the greenish stripes. I think that this one is really, really nice. I think I like the greener one a little bit better, but this is still beautiful. So either way, no matter which way you go or which version you choose, it's definitely going to be a winner because this one looks incredible as well. Very, very nicely painted, but also beautifully sculpted. These are fantastic Sinoceratops figures. Now, as far as Dennis Nedry goes, you can kind of see him a little bit, but honestly, he's really, really hard not only to focus on, but to see the detailing of the figure because this white color that he comes in is extremely bright. You do, of course, get one with each of these, so if you're like me and you buy both figures, maybe you can repaint him and actually see what the figure looks like as far as the sculpt goes. I would love it if they started to actually paint these, but it's cool having them like this. I definitely intend on painting quite a few of mine, so hopefully we'll see at some point in the future what these actually look like. He also comes with this inside. Not entirely sure what that is. I don't know if that's something to balance him up or what exactly, but if you guys have any ideas as to what that is, please let me know, because I am an idiot and can't figure it out. But either way, both of these Sinoceratops figures look great, so let's go ahead and get a size on them. So as far as a size goes, from the tail to the head, you are looking at about 10¼ inches, or about 27 centimeters, very close to that range as far as a length. As far as a height goes, it's a little tough probably to see from your vantage point, but it's about 4½ inches, or around 11½ centimeters. So it's definitely a very, very sizable figure. It's definitely got quite a bit of size to it, and to show you that, there is the Papo T-Rex, and now our Sinoceratops are protecting their Dennis Nedry back there from the Papo T-Rex, but you can definitely see next to the Papo Rex that these are very, very big figures, and the Rex itself being so large shows you that these are actually, I think, a little bit bigger, definitely significantly longer, but they also feel beefier and are a bit heavier, so it's really quite incredible how large these figures are. For another size comparison, when it comes to a battle that you saw in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, here is the Nanmu Carnotaurus with the Nanmu Sinoceratops, and you can see that the Carnotaurus really quite nicely scales up, honestly, to I think what you saw in the film, or at least somewhat similar. Maybe the Sinoceratops might be a little bit bigger. It's really hard to tell, honestly, unless I go back and rewatch the scene exactly, but hopefully if you have the Carnotaurus, you'll be able to get a pretty good idea here next to the Sinoceratops just around how large they are. So as far as these 2019 Nanmu Sinoceratops, they are incredible. Nanmu never seems to cease to amaze me. They continuously release unbelievable figures, pretty much the stuff that us as collectors dream about. It's the kind of thing that every single time you want like an ultimate of a dinosaur from one of the films of Jurassic World, you are getting it right here with Nanmu. One by one, they continue to release absolute masterpieces, and that's pretty much what I would say right here with these Sinoceratops figures. I love the fact that they always seem to give you numerous versions of each, 2 at the bare minimum it seems, and we have that again here with the Sinoceratops. Both look incredible. I love the greenish one, as that's what you do see in the film in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, but I also love the brownish version. I think they did a great job on both. As far as the paint application goes and everything, they all look great. The paint on both of these is really, really nicely and really naturally applied. There are a few very minor areas, like maybe the horns and the mouth area of the brownish one, and maybe that little slight bit of creamy color on the frill of the greenish one, that are slightly sloppy, but I wouldn't really consider either of those a big problem, because I think they still do both look incredible. I also love that as far as differentiating the two from each other, that they'll even go to the lengths of making the horns of each figure a different coloration from what you see on the opposing figure. That is also really awesome. A beautiful touch by Nanmu, who never seems to skimp out at all when it comes to their releases. When you get a Nanmu release, you know you are getting quality. The only downside, I think, to either of these figures is the fact that the seams are still really quite visible on the legs, potentially even worse than the last round of figures, which were the Carnotaurus, but I don't think that it takes away from them too much, because as you can see, when you take a step back, it's really not even noticeable, honestly, unless you're up close and looking at it. So even with that being a downside, it's a very slight downside. I think they nailed the sculpts of both of these as well, really hitting the nail straight on the head when it comes to what the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Sinoceratops looks like. And it's really awesome that you get a Dennis Nedry figure with this, because that is a character from the Jurassic films that we've all been wanting a figure of for years, so it's awesome to have some sort of Dennis Nedry in one form or another. You also have the addition of the articulated head, which is pretty cool. I guess there's not really too much that you can do with the Ceratopsian. I think the articulation works pretty good, but it's nothing to really write home about. It's still fun though, and it can also give you some difference between your figures aside from the coloration, but also when it comes to displaying them. So both of these figures are fantastic. It's really up to you to take your choice and decide which one you like more. If you are intending on ordering one, I 1000% recommend both of these. So if you are interested in ordering them, I will include a link in the description to the AliExpress seller where I purchased mine from. As I say continuously, he is a great seller and usually sells his Nanmu figures and actually pretty much everything dinosaur-wise a little bit cheaper than I seem to find from most sellers, so it's always awesome to go buy from him, and he ships them immediately and they always get to me really safely. So I highly recommend him when it comes to ordering Nanmu figures. Definitely check the description, I'll have links there to both of these figures, and go purchase them if you are in fact interested. Otherwise, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified of any future videos, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.